Highness, the Prime Minister of the State of Kuwait, Honorable Prime Minister, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I have the honor to welcome you to today's signing ceremony where 5 documents will be signed. We will first proceed to sign the agreement between the Government of the Republic of India and the State of Kuwait on the transfer of sentenced persons. The signatory from the Kuwait side is His Excellency Mr. Sabah Khalid Al-Hamad Al-Sabah, the Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and from the Indian side, Shri Sushil Kumar Shinde, the Honorable Minister for Home Affairs. We will now proceed to sign the MOU between the Foreign Service Institute, Ministry of External Affairs of the Republic of India, and the Saud Al Sabah Kuwait Diplomatic Institute, Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the State of Kuwait for cooperation in mutually beneficial areas of activity. The signatory from the Kuwait side is His Excellency Mr. Hamad Al Sabah, the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs, and from the Indian side, Shri Salman Khurshid, the Honorable Minister for External Affairs. We will now proceed to sign the Memorandum of Understanding on cooperation in the field of sports and youth affairs between the Government of the Republic of India and the Government of the State of Kuwait. The signatory from the Kuwait side is His Excellency Mr. Anas Al Saleh, the Minister of Commerce and Industry, and from the Indian side, Shri Jitendra Singh, the Honorable Minister of State for Youth Affairs and Sports. Next, we signed the Educational Exchange Program between the Government of India and the Government of the State of Kuwait on cooperation in education and learning for the years 2013 to 2016. The signatory from the Kuwait side is Mr. Khalid Al-Jarallah, Undersecretary, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and from the Indian side, Shri Ashok Thakur, Secretary, Ministry of Human Resource Development.
President's conference is over. Yes, sir. Went already.
Congratulations. The last agreement for this evening is the executive program for cultural and information exchanges between the Government of the Republic of India and the Government of the State of Kuwait for the years 2013 to 2016. The signatory from the Kuwait side is Mr. Khalid Al-Jarallah, Undersecretary, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and from the Indian side, Shri Ravindra Singh, Secretary, Culture. This concludes the signing ceremony. I will now hand over the podium to the official spokesperson who will conduct the next segment.
Honorable Prime Ministers, respected members of both the delegations and friends from the media, we will have the next item on the program, and that is media statements. I now request the Prime Minister of India to make his media statement.
Your Highness, Prime Minister Sheikh Jaber Al Mubarak Al Hamad Al Sabah, ladies and gentlemen of the media, it gives me great pleasure to extend a warm welcome to His Highness Prime Minister Sheikh Jaber on his first state visit to India. India's relations with Kuwait are rooted in historical links and enriched by the great warmth and goodwill between our people. We deeply appreciate the personal interest that His Highness the Emir of Kuwait and His Highness Prime Minister Sheikh Jaber have shown in the development of our bilateral relations. Today, Kuwait is one of our most valued partners and a close friend in an important region of the world, which is critical for India's energy security, is among the biggest destinations for our exports, and where more than 7 million Indians work and earn their livelihood. I've just finished very productive discussions with His Highness Prime Minister Sheikh Jaber. We reaffirmed our shared belief that close relations between India and Kuwait are important to both countries and acknowledge the vast untapped potential for our cooperation. We agreed to work purposely to expand our relations in key areas, including energy and investments. Kuwait is the fourth largest supplier of crude oil to India. His Highness Prime Minister Sheikh Jaber and I discussed the development of a more strategic partnership in the energy sector between our two countries. This can be done through long-term supply contracts on mutually beneficial terms and the establishment of upstream and downstream joint ventures in the petroleum and petrochemical sectors. India has proposed several specific projects for investment by the Kuwaiti petroleum companies. I am encouraged by His Highness Prime Minister Sheikh Jaber's response, and I am hopeful that we can translate some of these proposals into concrete symbols of cooperation very soon. I also conveyed to His Highness the Prime Minister that India offers attractive investment opportunities for Kuwait in the infrastructure sector. Our two sides will undertake discussions on specific proposals and appropriate investment vehicles for channelizing Kuwaiti investments in India. A delegation of the Kuwaiti Investment Authority is expected to make an early visit to India in this regard. I shared with His Highness Sheikh Jaber the strong interest of Indian companies to participate in infrastructure projects under Kuwait's development plan. Indian companies have considerable experience of working in Kuwait. His Highness has assured me that Indian companies are welcome in Kuwait and that they will continue to enjoy fair and equal opportunities there. I expressed our gratitude to the Kuwaiti leadership for hosting 700,000 Indian nationals in Kuwait. They are part of Kuwaiti society and are making valuable contributions to Kuwait's development. Given that many of them are unskilled or semi-skilled workers, I requested His Highness the Prime Minister for continued support of the Kuwaiti leadership to ensure that the full protection of Kuwaiti laws and labor welfare measures is available to them. We also shared views on developments in West Asia and the Gulf, where both our countries have a common interest in peace and stability. We recognize the importance of a peaceful resolution of the Syrian conflict and hope that the Geneva II conference will contribute towards this objective. I expressed our appreciation for Kuwait's contribution to promoting peace and stability in the region. Security cooperation has added a new dimension to our relationship, and I expressed appreciation for Kuwait's cooperation in this area. We agreed that countering radicalism and extremism is a common challenge. We also agreed to strengthen our cooperation in the area of counter-terrorism through institutionalized dialogue and training. Ladies and gentlemen, this visit of His Highness Prime Minister Sheikh Jaber has imparted a fresh impetus to our efforts to further carry forward our multifaceted bilateral relations with Kuwait. I once again extend a very warm welcome to His Highness and wish him a pleasant and a fruitful stay in our country. Thank you.
May I now request the Prime Minister of Kuwait to make his media statement.
الأخوة الكرام، بدعوة كريمة من صديقي معالي رئيس الوزراء الدكتور مانموهان سينغ، سعدت بالقيام بزيارة رسمية إلى جمهورية الهند الصديقة على رأس وفد رسمي رفيع المستوى تعكس حرصنا على السعي إلى كل ما من شأنه توطيد العلاقات التاريخية المتميزة التي تربط دولة الكويت بجمهورية الهند والارتقاء بها إلى مستوى الطموح والآمال، حيث شكلت هذه الزيارة فرصة للالتقاء بكبار المسؤولين وتبادل وجهات النظر معهم، بما يحقق لنا فتح آفاق جديدة في علاقاتنا المتميزة مع بلدكم الصديق، وما يلعبه من دور فاعل ومؤثر في عالمنا المعاصر. وقد أجرينا وصديقي معالي الدكتور مانموهان سينغ مباحثات رسمية تم خلالها استعراض مسيرة العلاقات الثنائية بين بلدينا الصديقين، وكان هناك ارتياح لما وصلت إليه العلاقات الثنائية من مستوى مرموق، واتفاقا على بذل المزيد من الجهد لتوطيدها وتعزيزها في كافة المجالات. وقد تم خلال الزيارة التوقيع على عدد من الاتفاقيات في مجالات مختلفة تعكس حرصنا على تيسير توطيد العلاقات بين بلدينا، كما استعرضنا الزيارات العديدة المتبادلة التي قام بها المسؤولون في بلدينا، وأكدنا أهمية مواصلة هذه الزيارات لما لها من أثر إيجابي بالغ على علاقاتنا التاريخية. كما تم استعراض تطور الأوضاع على الساحتين الإقليمية والدولية، وتبادل وجهات النظر بشأنها، وسعينا المشترك للعمل على كل ما من شأنه تعزيز الأمن والسلم الدوليين، منطلقين من تميز العلاقات التاريخية بين بلدينا والحرص على تعزيزها وصولا إلى تحقيق الشراكة الاستراتيجية التي ننشدها. وشكرا. Thank you.
With that, we come to the end of this event. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.